All right, y'all. So I am back. Now we're going to be moving on over into the original character portion of this. So last week we did Bonjan Kè. This week we're going to be doing Wiki, and Wiki is his son. So I do have other sketches, probably like two or three other sketches of me, but this here in this book here is my most recent, recent sketch, and I think I told y'all last week. So so this here is we, and so we're going to be drawing him. We is 10 years old. He's 4'8". I think yeah, 10-year old male, venti, dark skin, white hair, hazel eyes, and he's going to be around about 4'8". So he's a shorty. Um, he's a kid. He's 10.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Water.
Um, Thank you guys for all viewing the first art and story time for my original character for OCMonday, original character Monday. So this Monday I did do I did some of the character, but I had to like stop in the middle of the screen because it started storming in my area, and I am not about that life where all the lights go off, my PC gets shut down, and I lose work, or even though I'm working on my iPad at the same time, I don't want my PC shutting off, like just shutting down and while everything is going on, and it ends up just wreaking havoc. But anyways, um, I did finish it though. I came back another day at my own leisure, or not screaming or whatever. Came back and did the work a while in my Discord server. So yeah. Also, if you guys want to join the Discord, hop in, do some art. We do like Art Study Tuesday every Tuesday inside the Discord. Why live on Twitch, whatever. You can hop in and just say your piece, do your work, like while we do our art study. You can. But anyways, let's get into the story. So recap. Chapter 1, on OCMonday we drew the main character of the story, was Bonjan Kè. And we introduced Bonjan Kè, we introduced his son, his mother, his sister, talked about the village a little bit, and some of the scenery and everything around them. So now we're going to go even more deeper into the story as chapter 2, where some conflict might arise or whatever. So this week we are drawing Wiki, his son, and as the story develops, you will know a little more about Wiki. So here we go.
All right. For like, if you're like sensitive to like murders and all that, um, this chapter will have that in there, and it will be a bit graphic in speech. So I'm just putting that out there as a warning or whatnot, just in case you're like, oh snap, I'm going back to my old days and the trauma or whatever. So yeah. So just let you know. So yeah.
Chapter 2, Burning Fields. Bonjon stands at a small machine, grinding and mixing together different herbs and oils. He grabs a sharp, small, rigid knife, separating the mush into two equal lumps. "Where's Luspri and my little Ivy?" he asks Maman and Dlo. "They want to get some water from the well and take some medicine to a patient. They should be back soon," Dlo answered. Just then, the door opens and a woman wearing a white dress with long black locks and a droopy hat, carrying a baby that looks to be about 1 year of age and a sling on her back, walks into the shop. "My beautiful loves," Bonjan Kè says as he walks over to them. He kisses the woman and the baby starts laughing. What is it, What is it, my petite fille? You want one too? He hugs the woman and leans over her shoulder and kisses the baby on the forehead. Papa, papa, the little girl says while wiggling. She wiggles around in the sling, looking over her mother's shoulder towards her father. When she looks, he isn't there. Bonjan Kè darts to the other side of the woman and ducks his head where the child couldn't see him. Petite fille, where are you? Papa, papa! Bonjan Kè stands up and jumps behind the woman, grabbing the child out of the sling. He raises her in the air and brings her back down and rests her on his head. The woman smiles. L'Esprit, we have a lovely petite fille, don't we? Isn't that right, my lovey? Bonjan Kè says as he tickles his daughter's feet. She laughs cutely. I hope she grows to take after her matante rather than you. L'Esprit and Dlo both look at Bonjan Kè. Why is that? L'Esprit asks. I wouldn't have to worry about her getting a suitor until old age. I wouldn't have to worry about fighting off the men. Dlo's face distorted in anger. She opened her mouth to say something, but then flops her head back down on the countertop with a defeated expression. Bonjan Kè smiled. That wasn't nice, L'Esprit says. I'm just teasing her. How was the harvest? Only the linden leaves were ready. We still have enough of the other herbs to last us until it's time for the others to be harvested. Great. I already blended medicine for Maman. He has a nasty fever. He should be coming around in a few days, as long as Poisson gives him the medicine every third hour, day and night. Lavie starts to pull at her father's eyelids. She leans too far over his head and tumbles off. Bonjan Kè catches her. She starts laughing. Be careful, L'Esprit says with a relieved voice. Bonjan Kè laughs. He steps closer to L'Esprit, put his face close to hers, and says, Don't worry. She's in good hands. You should know. L'Esprit blushes. Out of the corner of his eye, Bonjan Kè spots Dlo sticking out her tongue and making a gagging sound. She turned her head quickly as he turned to face her. He smiled. He began to say something to her, but then Maman interjects and says, Dlo, when are you going to get a husband? Dlo's face falls into another depressing look. She put a finger to her forehead and walked over towards her mother. She gets on her knees and says, Mama, you are my mama, my only mama. But I don't know when. I think I need to travel about more. Maybe call the team up and do another expedition. It seems no man here wants old, beautiful, thankful, loving me, she says with a playful, pouty voice. However, her eyes seem to dim a bit in a painful way. Bonjan Kè makes a snorty sound of laughter and whisper under his breath, saying, says the woman who tried to force all the village boys to eat chan droppings, claiming they would make us strong and more manly. Maman puts a hand on Dlo's head and says, Oh, dear, maybe I should have given you more feminine lesson on how to catch a husband. You are loud, stubborn, sometimes obnoxious, bossy, and a bit of a sadist. At each remark made by Maman, Dlo's face sinks deeper and deeper until she starts to cry. But Mama, she whines. Maman raises Dlo's head up to face her, smiles, and says, Don't worry, petite fille. You take after me, so it seems. If your father was crazy enough to marry me, then I'm sure someone will want you. Maybe. Suddenly, Wee comes rushing into the shop. Papa, the field is on fire. Bonjan Kè hands Lavie to L'Esprit. You all stay here. I'll go check it out. I'll come too, Papa, Wee says. No. You may take in too much smoke, and there may be some herbs and plants that mix together within the smoke that will be toxic. It may cause you to have another attack. Wee's face slumps into a tearful but determined frown. I'll bring my medicine. Let me help, Papa, please. I care for the plants just like you did, and Grampy, and so on. I'm a man, Papa. You treat me like Lavie. You are a 10-year-old child. I treat you with care. That determination of yours is what scares me. The papa and the papa and the godson came from the same soils, said Delo. So did the grandpea, Maman says. Leslie giggled to herself. Bonjan Kè lets out a sigh. I'll let you come, on the condition you stay on lookout away from the main fire and thick smoke. Wee's face lit up with excitement. Thank you, Papa. Here is your medicine, Wee. Be careful, Lavi says as she hands Wee a square box. She leans her head to his and says, Go on, my little man. Bonjan Kè and Wee grabs 2 empty buckets each and rush out of the shop. Leslie and Delo gives worried looks. Maman stops her work, gets up, and walks over to Leslie and Lavi. She sighs. Time's up, she begins to hum. Bonjan Kè and Wee ran out towards the herd field. He studied which way the wind is blowing. Good, it's blowing southwest, away from the village. They both run up the hill towards the well. They tear their clothing and tie them like rags around their faces and head to shield from the smoke and any toxic plant fumes. They fill their buckets and head towards the field. We stand over there near the tree there and look to see if the fire spreads to any part of the other field. If the wind turns towards your direction, go to the hilltop. Okay, Papa. As he approached, there were men already there helping put out the fire. Some were using regular buckets of water, and some were using high water pressure guns. Bonjan Kè yells out to the man with a red, bushy beard and a clean-shaved head, who was using one of the water guns. He is very tall and muscular. His eyes are slanted like a cat's. He has a scar running from the back of his head over to the front of his face to the bottom of his neck. Etre l'ami, how much of the field is burnt? About a good quarter or so. I have men maintaining it on the east side. It seems that only the chamala burned. Good thing the fire didn't reach the ivy and oak patch. Probably would have had some real problems on our hands. Bonjan Kè sighs with relief. He grabs hold of Atulami's hand and put his right hand on Atulami's heart, and Atulami does the same to him. Thanks, Dummy. Always looking out. No problem. That's what zombies are for. Bonjan Kè runs to a patch of fire and dashes his bucket of water onto it. He then runs back to the well along with other men coming to and fro from the field to put the fire out. Mama, I'm going to go over to Woo's place to see if there's anything I can do, Delo said. At this point, child, it really doesn't matter what we do. Suddenly, an arrow comes through the window of the shop. Delo and Leslie scream. Lavi gets started by their scream and starts crying. A second arrow comes through the window, this time on fire. What's going on, Mama? Delo screams. With teary eyes, Mama says, The end of Vanti, child. The promise has been forgotten. Peace in the midst of a war no longer exists for us. Mama grabs hold of Leslie and Delo hands and walks out the door, boldly to face the enemy head on. What they see horrified them. There are men on horses wearing white armor with a yellow lightning bolt symbol on the back of their armor. People running around crying and screaming. The men on the horses shooting only the people with the 3 pearls under their right eye and striking and killing them with swords. The ones without them are being tied up and captured. One man on a horse noticed the women standing outside the herb shop. He raised up his arrow and shoot at them, missing Maman by an inch. The 3 jumps and began to cry while cradling little Lavi in her arms. Delo stares at the arrow stuck in the door of the shop in terror. But Mama looks at the man with stern eyes. She screams. Ah! Her scream seems to have shook the village. The men who are on the horses stop their slaughtering and capturing of the Vanti townspeople. Even the townspeople themselves stopped in their tracks from fleeing. They all are now looking at Mama. What happened to the promise, Eclerage? What happened to your senses? Are we not family? What is the purpose of these 3 pearls on the faces of these Vantians? The same 3 pearls you all harbor once. Why must we fight with our brethren? 700 years it has been. 700 years. The foolishness must stop. What are you fighting for? Why do you fight? What is the purpose? Suddenly a huge soldier with a long blonde braid, whose eyes shines icy blue through his helmet armor, rides over on his horse and grabs Maman. With one hand, he held her up in the air, choking her. She then struggled. This is a new era, Vantian. We fight for territory and honor. We fight for respect and game. This is our purpose. War is our pride. With staggering words, Mama says, your pride will be the death of you, Eclerigian. The soldier laughed and brings Mama closer to his face. Vantians are nothing but sympathetic scums. Pride is everything. He threw Mama to another Eclerigian soldier, cut off her head, and put it in a box as a gift to the Lochley's king. Low screams and cries out at the soldiers, singing, no, you can't kill her. The Eclerigians demand respect, but none to the wise. You are savage. There is nothing honoring about killing a wise young and women. The Eclerigian soldier who ordered Mama to be beheaded grabbed Low by the head, causing her wrap to unravel. Golden brown, puffy hair drooped over her face. You Vantian women need to learn how to speak to men. He threw her to another Eclerigian soldier. Behead her too. Yes, sir, the 2 soldiers said. The people started to uproar and scream and cry even louder for Mama, and Low then for themselves. One man yells out at the soldiers, saying, don't do this thing. Don't kill them. Mama is the wisest of us all. Don't kill her. The wisest are the first to go, the soldier said. He raises his sword over Maman as she looks at him. The people start to run towards the soldiers to stop him, but more Eclerigian soldiers come and restrain them. Don't kill them yet, the soldier said. Let them see before they die. Their most precious wise woman be slaughtered before their eyes. In one fell swoop, he chops off Maman's head. After another swoop from the other soldier, chops off Low's head. The people's screams become even louder than before. They run at the soldiers. Through the chaos, Lusri tries to slip away to run towards the herb field. She noticed that the soldiers are only killing those with the pearls in their face. She takes out Lavi's pearls and continues to run towards the field. Suddenly, someone grabs her from behind. Let go of me, she screams. Now, why would I do that? She looks up at who was holding her. It was an Eclerigian soldier, the same one who ordered Mama and Glow to be beheaded. He grabs her by the arm, eyeballing Lavi in her arm. It's a child of Tigarson or a Tifi. Lusri is terrified. She doesn't want to answer him. All she is thinking about is getting to Bonjan Kè and we. Answer me, he snapped. Tifi, Lusri says with a trembling voice. She starts crying hysterically. The man frowns in motion for another soldier to come over. What a pity. I don't care for little Fee. Soldier, take the child. If it has the pearl in its face, kill it. If not, throw it in the rest of the bunch in the wagons. Yes, sir. The soldier struggles to get Lavi from her mother. Lavi cries out. The soldier punches Lusri in the face, causing her to fall backwards. The soldier who was making all the orders takes his soldier and stabs Lusri in the stomach. Vantian scum. He pulls his sword out her stomach and kicks her. Sir, the child could be becoming a captive. The 2 men walked away with Lavi. Lusri lays on the ground with tears in her eyes. With a soft whisper and holding tightly to Lavi's pearls, she says, Oh, John. please. And that is the end of chapter 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, I will probably be putting these out weekly as I as I do original character Mondays with my original characters. Next week I will possibly draw Maman, whose name is actually Sajes or Glow. So yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about giving y'all backstories on those two. So I do have backstories for how L'Esprit and Bonjan Kè met. I do have backstory on Glow, what she said about her expedition team. It's a story about how her and her team goes out and administrate aid to villagers and stuff that are villages that have been basically like war stricken and left sickly and stuff by the war that's going on and everything. As you hear it mentioned by Mama, that two kingdoms that they lie between are in the midst of a war right now, and now the treaty that they once had with both kingdoms are actually crap because, you know, as time go on, people change their minds. They be like, well, screw the treaty. Why not? Let's do this thing. But anyways, yeah. So I will catch you guys on another one. And please make sure to subscribe and share and tell your friends if they're into like sci-fi fantasy stories or anything of the sort. Just feel free to let them know about this story that's being developed, and hopefully you all can get to witness the creation of a very, very great seller of a graphic novel or whatever. But anyways, I will catch you all later, and remember, keep drawing, keep going, don't stop. Bye bye.
Thank you guys for viewing my channel. If you would like to see me screen my art and chat art and anime, follow me over on Twitch. The link will be in the description box below under all my links are here. Do you want to know when I go live? Join my Discord where you get live updates when I go live. The link to it will also be under all my links are here. Remember, art grinders, keep drawing, keep going, don't stop.